Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley Hawks. I'm a watercolor artist, Daniel Smith brand ambassador, and lover of art supplies. What can I say? It's been a hot minute. I'm still alive. Thank you for asking. And today I wanted to pop in and talk to you about these adorable little 5 ml tube sets from friends at Daniel Smith. So I'm going to make a palette out of these 24 colors, these 8 sets. So if you want to see that, stick around. Okay, so I got prepared to do this and then decided to just record. So it's a little bit of a mess right now, but basically I have had access to these colors since they first came out, which is really exciting. And so I've swatched them, I've mixed them. I have, as you can see, used them quite a bit, especially Opera Pink here. I love this color. So I decided it would be really fun to grab a palette and fill it up with these colors. So here's what's going to be really hard for me. I love chroma order. So I really enjoy going from yellow to orange to red to purple. You get it. But with this palette, I want them to stay grouped by threes in order of the set, if that makes sense. And I'll tell you why. I have so many palettes. I mean, I've got so many different palettes of different colors. They're all in this beautiful chroma order. And what I have found with these 5 ml sets is they invite you to explore different combinations you never would have thought of. And so with that being said, I think it would be really interesting to have a palette put together in groupings of 3 with these colors. So that's what we're going to do today. This palette actually came with this Daniel Smith 24 half pan set. So when you buy this, you do get a second box inside that has an empty second metal palette. So seeing that it has 24 empty pans, I felt like it was appropriate for what I'm doing today. And I haven't even introduced these or anything. If you haven't seen these, I will talk about them. We've talked about them on Daniel Smith Live with John Cogley. Me and the other brand ambassadors have explored these over the last 8 weeks. So each week we picked a set and went over them. I'm digging this one. This one's my favorite. This is Halloweeny and fallish and autumn, as the name suggests. These are just little trios. So sets of 3 little baby tubes. These are the 5 ml tubes, not to be confused with the bigger 15 ml tubes. So this is what it looks like. It's a baby. My husband Dave saw this. He was like, "What?" It was so funny because he's never seen a 5 ml tube before. If you shop at Michael's and some of those other kinds of stores, this is what they sell, is these little 5 ml tubes. And they're great for introductory when you don't really want to commit yet, you're not sure. That's kind of what these sets are intended for. They're great for gifting. They're great for collecting. I mean, can you imagine your stocking filled with these sets? I mean, come on. There's the seasons collection. So we've got spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And then there's 4 other sets. This one's called Stormbreaker. Here we've got Architectural, Evening Glow, and Desert Horizons. So we're going to go over each of the sets as we put together the palette. I think that'll be the best way to go about this. I haven't done this in so long, like made a YouTube video that I recorded. I have to keep checking if it's recording. I might be a little rusty today. Maybe. So anyway, what I was saying a minute ago is I've already taken the liberty of starting to write the names on the sides of the pans. So here are the 3 colors for the spring set. Where's spring? So this is the spring set. We've got these 3 gorgeous colors. Hansa Yellow Light, Cobalt Teal, and Opera Pink. And here are some swatches. I think I can hold all this in my hand. I bet I can. We've got Hansa Yellow Light, which is a gorgeous, like lemon yellow. Opera Pink, everyone's favorite. Cobalt Teal Blue. These make the most vibrant mixes. I'm so excited. So once we get this palette filled, I think it'd be really fun to swatch out the colors together. So we'll do that. I've actually started seeing videos pop up on YouTube with artists who have started getting these sets, and I've had them for quite a while now. I decided I should probably get on and share. So that's what we're going to do today. People like palette filling videos, right? Okay, so I've got spring, summer, and I was at autumn. So I've got Undersea Green, Rose of Ultramarine, and Aussie Red Gold. So I'm going to go ahead and like do a time lapse of me writing on these pans because nobody wants to sit here for however long this is going to take. So, and I hope you guys can hear me okay. Like I said, I'm a little rusty. It's been a while. So bear with me. Here we go. All right, guys, I am finished writing with my Sharpie. These are great for writing on pans. So we're gonna get started. I don't know why I clapped. It felt like the right thing to do. I usually use the toothpick, but I decided to use a needle because it's easier to clean off and you can reuse it and dip it in water and you don't have to keep getting a new toothpick. So we're gonna use that. And we're gonna get started. So I think what I'll do is as I fill each pan, maybe I just show the colors for each set. I don't know. I just don't want this to be boring. So it might be. Just a heads up. And also, full disclosure, I have used so much of this. I've got it in a palette. I've got it all over the place that I might have to grab the big tube to fill it up. But these go a long way. So if you wanted to build a palette like this, you can fill up a half pan 3 times with one of these little guys. These will last for a long time. Just don't be like me. I mean, I just have so much of it in like ceramic palettes all over the place. So let's go ahead and start with our spring set and we'll go from there. So first we've got our Hansa Yellow Light. Now, Hansa Yellow Light is just a good clean yellow. Like I said, I really do compare it to lemon yellow because it leans cooler. Not like New Gamboge, for example, which is super, super, super warm. It leans more towards red. Guys, I don't know how to make this as engaging as it should be, but we're gonna do our best. All right. So fun trick, and I've probably showed you before, but when you're opening a tube, especially if it's brand new, before you open it, squeeze on the sides and it'll help you not to have that spillage. Because Daniel Smith really packs in the pigments, and a lot of times you open it and it spills out. It's a good problem to have, but you see that how you can kind of suck it in. I do have a tube squeezer as well. I might go grab that if we get to the bottom of any of these tubes. Here we go. Make sure you get it out in all the corners. If I can avoid using my little needle, I will. So this is the best tube ringer. I got it on Amazon, and it makes your tubes have like this little zigzaggy crinkle, which is really cool. And you can get a ton out of it. Like I said, I've already got so many like ceramic palettes with these colors in it, so and I've been playing with them already for some time. Sometimes I like to do multiple pours just because you can really get a lot of pigment in there. Like you pour it, let it dry for a day or two, and then top it off, but some of us are lazy. I have put pans in we have like an old 1970s food dehydrator, you know, the metal ones that your grandparents have. I will have pens in the dehydrator on low and try to make them dehydrate because there is water content in the paint. Daniel Smith has like the least amount of water content. So if you buy like their half pans that are already filled, there's the least amount of water content left. I don't remember the percentage, but out of all the companies that make pans, Daniel Smith's is one of the best. All right, we've got our Hansa Yellow. There she is. She's beautiful. She's lovely. She's summery. She's springy. She's ready to play. And I'm going to I'm going to poop her in. Sorry, you didn't even see that. I pooped her in the pans. There. Okay. Next, we have Opera Pink. Now, guys, I don't know if I showed you how adorable these are, but they're very cute. If you've watched Daniel Smith live at all, I have already said this many times. They're cute. I have full new tubes in here. I don't know if you're anything like me. You like tiny things. I like tiny things. Okay, so we've got our Cobalt and our Opera. So Opera comes first, and I am going to see if we can get the rest out of this. It's good to squeeze them before you open it. It's a little bit harder after. Okay. Now I know that's going to come spilling out the minute I open it because I just did that. That's good. It's good. Okay, so even when you think it's all gone, your little tube ringer can get the rest out. And if you really want to make a mess, you can cut it open at the end. See? Oh, yeah. Get it all out of there. And then I like to pull it out and then like fold it one last time. These are so tiny. These sets are so fun and they're all at the same price point. You can get them on, I think the Merri Artist is the first company to have released them. You just have to Google it. Depends on your area. So I can't tell you where to go buy it. But here in the US, I know the Merri Artist, they actually have already sold out. I don't know if they've got them back in yet, but I heard a rumor that they sold out. So there you go. It's a good idea maybe to fill it like that full, let it dry for like a day or two, and then come back and top it. But ain't nobody got time for that. I'm just going to use my big tube here to top her off. Even though I have another tube, I just don't want to disturb it. Now, one could argue that, why go buy these sets if you have these colors? That's a good argument. It's a good argument. But I think the intention of these sets was for like an introductory type thing where, people can really try Daniel Smith at a lower price point. They can explore it just, man, these really open up creativity. If you've got all these colors, great. Try pairing them together. I made a mess of this one. Sorry, Opera. I literally have never made a palette where it wasn't in chroma, like rainbow order. So this is going to be painful for me, but we're going to get through this together. Okay, this is going into the tube graveyard. I'm actually going to go grab my tube graveyard. Somebody suggested that I should stop calling this the graveyard and I should call it watercolor heaven. But the thing is like the paint is the soul, the tube is just the body. So in my opinion, this is actually a graveyard. Look, see, I have problems, guys. That's opera pink. I love opera pink. A lot of people like opera pink gets a bad rap. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna tell you why I still use it, even though it is considered to be fugitive, and I want to explain. So opera pink is a combination of a fluorescent pigment and also quinacridone magenta. And quinacridone magenta has an excellent light fast rating and will last forever. So even if this vibrant, bright pink color fades over time, you're still going to be left with something just slightly darker than this. This is quinacridone rose. Quinacridone magenta leans slightly bluer than this. If I had a swatch somewhere, I'd show you. But anyway, you'd still be left with a beautiful pink. So I just trust that if I get my values right, and over time, if I use this in a painting, I'll still be left with a beautiful deep magenta. So I don't even worry about it. It's just fun. I'm a live in the moment kind of person anyway, so I don't care. All right, now if I was selling paintings to clients, that's a different story. And I think that it's important to, if you're using a color that's considered fugitive, to not advertise your painting as being 100+ years light fast. Tell them to put it behind, UV protectant glass. Tell them to protect it. There's things you can do. But to me, it's worth it. All right, here we've got our cobalt teal. This is just, I don't even know what to say. We all love this color. We are all a fan of the cobalt teal blue. When I first discovered Daniel Smith on YouTube or something, I didn't have it yet. I was still buying really inexpensive student grade supplies. And I remember seeing this color and just like coveting it. And when I inherited my first batch of Daniel Smith, which is a really cool story I've told multiple times on my channel, but when I first inherited, I inherited like 50 tubes from an artist who passed away, and cobalt teal blue was the in the hall, and I was a very happy camper. Okay, so these are our three. They're so pretty to go together. Just, I mean, they're so pretty. This is a very exciting combination. All right, this movie. Oh my gosh, guys. It's the end of the day on a Friday. It's the end of the week. It's been a long week. Anyway, this video is going to be extremely long unless I keep us moving. So, as my 9th grade science teacher used to say, moving right along. We are going to grab our summer set. And here is summer. Summer is these three colors. Like I showed you before, quinacridone rose, ultramarine turquoise, and Naples yellow. Never would have thought to put these three colors together. That's what's so fun about these. And if you have the set, or if you want to just do a screenshot, you can go to Daniel Smith's website and look at all the sets, see the swatches, see them in action. All right, I'm going to set that there so we know which set I'm talking about. I'll put the colors here, not that you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. All right, so first things first, quinacridone rose. You know what's funny, when I watch people fill palettes, like, I'm so judgmental. I'm always like, oh, I could do that better, or like critical, I guess. But y'all, doing it on camera, just doing it in general, it's messy. It's not pretty, it's not easy. So, but if you feel the need to sit and judge my skills, you're fine. It doesn't bother me. Oh yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. Quinacridone rose is a fantastic primary red, if you will. I'm more of a primary magenta kind of girl, so this would lean more magenta. This is so weird putting together a palette like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the seasons collection on this top row, and then we'll have the rest of them on the bottom row. So it's going to be fun. It's going to start at spring and go all the way to winter. Okay. Next is our ultramarine turquoise. Look at the little poop. Oh my goodness. It's funny how different colors have different consistencies. Has to do with pigments. It's all about pigment. Some pigments are thicker, some are heavier. It just depends. Oh gosh, it's gelatinous. I love this color. It looks so dark in the pan, but then when you add water, it just becomes gorgeous, like deep ocean turquoise color. I should be using this to like swatch or something. Here we go. All right, Naples yellow. Just kidding. It's pronounced Naples. Naples yeller. Now, this color I really didn't like when I first tried it, but it's grown on me. It's kind of a good, um, like it's good for making flesh tones and any flesh tones, not just like white, but any, because you can actually add colors, different colors to it to create different tones, which is really cool. So it's really versatile color. Oh my gosh. Oh, putting like a yellow next to a deep dark blue is really weird. All right, next. So that was our summer set. I got to move things along quicker, guys. Ain't nobody got time to edit these days. All right, cool. So on to my favorite set of all, which is autumn. Now, Rose of Ultramarine is like my second favorite Daniel Smith color. Undersea Green is, oh, she is stunning, stunning, stunning. That was the best crutch word I just said. If you know, you know. Aussie Red Gold. These three colors together. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I just want to show you. My girl Pepper helped me pick out this at the Hoblob. And I use it for these three colors. So you can see that they're really fun to mix. All right, so there's our three. Like I said, autumn. And we're gonna start with the Rose of Ultramarine. Rose of Ultramarine is a mix of PB29 and PB19. So I believe PB29 is ultramarine blue and PB19 is, I think they use quinacridone rose. Unless I'm wrong, it could be quinacridone red. PB19, I need to grab my brochure. Like you'd think I would have all the pigment numbers memorized by now, but I do not. Close, but not all the way. If you go on Daniel Smith's website, you can actually download a guide that tells you every single pigment. Rose of Ultramarine. Yes, I knew it. Ultramarine blue and quinacridone red, which ironically are both on my dot card. So you can actually make that color if you have those two colors, which is really cool. Just a fun side note. But if you've got ultramarine and quinacridone rose, um, or you know, red, you can make something very similar to this. I really didn't want to get paint on the sides of the pan, but here we are. It is what it is. I actually stopped using half pans because I felt like I was digging into the pans with my brushes and ruining my brushes, so I switched to just ceramic palettes, plastic palettes with big wells and things like that. But for this, we are just going to, we're just going to use half pans. All right, here's our undersea green. This is a favorite for a lot of folks. A lot of artists love this color. I wouldn't say it's my favorite green. Cascade, which is in one of the other sets, is my favorite. But this one is a gorgeous, earthy, warm green. Just want to get it in the corners and get all the bubbles out because You just don't, once these dry, they kind of might pull away from the sides. So as long as you get it stuck to the sides pretty good, then it stays in. It's not gonna fall out or anything. All right, autumn. Now we've got Aussie Red Gold. This color is so beautiful and glowing. Has an interesting texture too. Look at that. It's a really thick, thick paint. See if I can wipe this off better. Entertainment. All right, winter. This is Cascade Green, French Ultramarine, and Lunar Black. This is such an interesting set. Let me grab me swatches. Lunar Black, a favorite among artists. French Ultramarine and Cascade Green. Love it. We're actually going a little faster than I thought we would. Okay, we've got our Lunar Black. Oh, that went quite well. Oh, that's so sticky. Yeah. If you get a mess like that, it's a good idea to clean it off before putting the lid on. Otherwise, you're just going to have a massive mess on your hands. Or the lid will just stick and it's going to be hard to get off. So. Aha. Those look like Halloween together. The Aussie Red Gold and the Lunar Black. Straight up Halloween. See, this is what's fun about building this palette is um, not only have I not ever considered mixing some of these colors together, but then when you combine all the sets, it just opens up a whole new world of color. Okay, I'm a 90s kid, sorry. It is what it is. I'm an 80s baby and a 90s kid. All right, and then our final color, which is my favorite, Cascade Green. Now, if you have these colors in sticks, pair them up. If you've got them in big tubes, pair them up. See how you like it. If you're new to Daniel Smith and you don't even have any, these are such a great entry into the world of Daniel Smith because it has a lot of the classic colors that we know and love. And it's just a good, and they're all the same price point. That's what's fun about it, is each set is going to cost the same amount. What am I missing here? 3, 6, 9, 12. We're good. There is room for one more pan, I think, technically, but you'd have to squish it in pretty hard. So, I'm gonna get this one away from the side. There we go. We scooched it. All right, that's fine. That looks so weird. And we're just gonna roll with it. All right, winter's done. Now I get to decide which of the next 4 sets to put together to make it aesthetic. What do I want to do? Maybe we go, I was gonna say warm to cool. We've got a lot of blues over on this end. What do you guys think? What would you do? I think I'm gonna go in that order. Desert, evening, sorry about this, architectural, and stormbreaker. So let's just start with desert. I love this set too. This is probably my second favorite. I'm not gonna open it. I'm not gonna open it. I've got tubes right here. All right, the first color is Monte Amiata Natural Sienna. Very beautiful color. Next, we have Amazonite. Amazonite. I call it Amazonite, but you can call it whatever you want. Genuine. That's Primatech. And the final one is Burnt Sienna Light. Guys, like I mentioned, the Daniel Smith brand ambassadors on the last like 8 Thursdays have gone over each one of these sets. Each brand ambassador shared how they would use these colors. It was so much fun. So I will have the link in the description for rewatching. So Daniel Smith has a YouTube channel, and those sessions are posted the week after. So the Monday, usually the Monday or Tuesday after. It's Tuesday. You can go rewatch on YouTube. You can rewatch them on Facebook instantly, by the way. And they're free. Come join us if you want to do it live. It's Thursdays at what time? 2 p.m. Pacific. And also, if you want to know what we're going to be talking about on Thursdays ahead of time, you can go subscribe to the Daniel Smith newsletter. And you will find out, like Wednesday, we send out the newsletter on Wednesdays. And you can go find out what we're going to talk about and get your paints ready. Come paint along. We love it. All right, here is Amazonite Genuine. This is like a Viridian, one of my favorites too. Green is my favorite color in general. I'm not even going to mix this one. I'm just going to like tap it because it's so beautifully like runny and I don't want to mess it up. If you've ever filled half pans, you know it's messy. So any 24 well palette would be great for this. Okay, this is a really fun color, Burnt Sienna Light. It's burnt sienna but lighter and just gorgeous. So satisfying. A little pudding. I'll call it poop again, I know. Childish. Just gonna tap some of these that are a little more on that juicy side. Get them in all the crackities. Definitely look prettier. Okay, our next set that we're gonna put in here is Evening Glow. This one's gorgeous as well. They all are, but this one, I love, love, love the mixes you can get. Now, Shadow Violet's one of my other favorites. I always have this in my palette. Manganese Blue hue is always in my palette. New Gamboge, not so much. I've not been close friends with New Gamboge, so it's fun to play with. So we're gonna get these out of the way. These here. And we will start filling up this one. There's your 3 colors. We'll start with New Gamboge. New Gamboge. Oh yeah, this is a runny, juicy one. I love the ones that just, oh, so good. It's really hard doing things when you're trying to keep it in camera. I'll tell you that. I have so much respect for people who consistently maintain YouTube channel because it is quite the feat. All right, next. Manganese Blue Hugh Jackman. See, that's what happens if you shed it with paint around the edges. I actually got stabbed by perylene green. I have a perylene green tattoo on my finger because there were crusties around the lid and I went to take the lid off and it literally slid under my skin. I know it's cringe. So I just grabbed one of my palette knives because it got out of hand. Scrape that on. Okay. This is interesting. Look at this guy. Look at this. Ultramarine turquoise is trying to crawl out. It looks like the Fern Gully oil blob guy. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Not done with that. I forgot Shadow Violet. Sorry, Shadow Violet. I do care about you. Shadow Violet. Okay. Where are we? Architectural. These are some luscious colors mixed together. Oh boy. Love them. So, buff titanium, lavender, and sepia. Sepia, tomato. So, put those there. They just look good together. All right, lavender, sweet little thing. This also has a white pigment in it. So this set is it's like hazy, creamy, earthy deliciousness. So this needle makes me cringe slightly. Story time. When I was about 7 years old, I was jumping on my bed like a monkey. You know how your parents tell you not to jump on the bed? Well, I was jumping on the bed. My sister was doing like needlework at the time. She's 7 years older than me. And she's probably about 14, if my math is correct. And she, I guess, had dropped a needle on the floor and it was sticking out of the carpet, out of our 1982 shag carpet. And I jumped off the bed onto the floor and the needle went in my foot in between my toes. It broke in half and we found one half of the needle on the floor. The sharp end was on the floor and the end with the eye was nowhere to be found and my foot hurt really bad. So we went to the emergency room where I had x-rays to confirm that yes, half of the big arse needle was inside my foot between my toes, and they numbed it and dug around for 3 flipping hours to get the needle out. They finally got it out. It's in my scrapbook. Still has some flesh clinging to it. It's a fun story. But kids, don't jump on the bed. I mean, some rules don't make any sense to me until you get injured. All right, there is our final color. It's a pretty color. And we've only got one set left. Last set is called Storm Breaker. All right, this one's fun. I'll tell you why. Why? This one's got an iridescent, you see the shimmer? Shimmer. We've got some shimmer. And this one is a stunner. Now, this one also comes in a watercolor stick, which is so pretty. And then we've got Prussian blue and Bloodstone Genuine. Guys, if you haven't tried Bloodstone, you gotta try it. Here's our iridescent electric blue. This color also comes in gouache form, which I love. I've been pretty lucky. Like, jumping off the bed onto that needle was literally like the only stitches I'd ever had as a kid. I never broke a bone. And it's not like I wasn't doing dangerous things. I was. We went sledding, four-wheeling. I did have an injury on a four-wheeler. We rolled it. And all I got was like a bloody nose and a backache out of it, which was really lucky. I say we because my mom was driving. My nephew was between me and my mom. I was on the back, and my mom tried to go up an embankment, and the four-wheeler flipped back, and yeah, it was a little scary. But you know how like adrenaline kicks in? Like my adrenaline, I was 13. My adrenaline kicked in and I chased that four-wheeler down the dirt road. I mean, it was like we were on a steep road. And I just remember getting up and seeing it bouncing down the road, and I ran after it, grabbed it, and stopped it. It was insane. I was like Superman. And then the pain kicked in, and yeah. But anyway, as a kid, I somehow I got lucky. Didn't have a lot of injuries. I actually have never broken anything but toes. I mean, my big feet, my clumsy big feet. I have like the biggest toes you've ever seen, like the longest toes. And they catch corners and they catch furniture, and they've broken quite a few times, and there's nothing anybody can do but like maybe tape them to each other or something weird. All right, final color, guys. Final. We saved the best for last because this color is so fun. I think I'm gonna do a live stream soon because I have a lot of art supplies I've purchased over the last while. I think it'd be fun to do a kind of a haul. I've never done a haul before because I don't like to encourage people to spend money. But sometimes it's just fun to see like the new products, see what's out there. I don't even know why I have this face circle here because I'm not. All you're seeing is, me moving, but whatever. Okay. We've got all our sets in the, oops, in the palette. So here we go. We did it. Okay, so I'm going to review again how I took the mixing, if I can find it. My gosh. I know this looks clean, but my studio is like a bomb went off. Okay, so basically you can take something sharp. So here's that needle I was using. You actually just, you push, okay, there is a little bar. See that bar? So when this is attached, you just take something sharp and you push the little bar all the way through. And if you grab it from this side, you just pull that out and then this comes off. So palette hack, for those of you who've never tried that. Sometimes I like the mixing space, but right now, because I need more desk space, I decided to remove it. So this is the Daniel Smith. It's a palette that comes when you buy their big 24 half pan set. It comes with an extra palette. Cool. So I've got my sketchbook here. I know somebody's going to ask. This is actually a sketchbook I made. It's one of my prototypes that did not pass quality control, so I just use it for myself. And no, I am actually not selling sketchbooks right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I will again. I make them for myself. I actually invested in, like the big old guillotine cutter and book presses and all the tools. So, and then also I will be reviewing this guy next week. This will be on my channel. This is a Light Wish sketchbook. I might use this as well. We'll see if I run out of room. So I could spend hours like talking about each of these sets individually, and maybe I'll make a video about each of these individually. Let me know if you're interested in that. Either way, I could do a video or like a live stream about each. Like I said before, we've already done that on Daniel Smith Live with John Cogley over on the Daniel Smith YouTube channel. And you can go look at those for yourself. All the different brand ambassadors, including myself, we kind of like went over the colors and what we use them for. And so it's just really fun to see the same three colors being used in such vast and different ways. So it's going to be fun. All right, so the first set is Spring. Spring, and the colors are, as a review, we've got Hansa Yellow Light, Opera Pink, and Cobalt Teal Blue. This set, the mixes are really vibrant and fun, as you will see. So we will go ahead and get started there. Now, Hansa Yellow Light is just like a really clean yellow, comparable to lemon yellow. I think I don't know if it's a little more transparent. I'm not sure. I don't have a ton of experience with lemon yellow. I have it, I just don't use it a lot. Um, and then we've got Opera Pink. Ooh, so juicy. For those of you who are curious, this is a Da Vinci Cosmo Top Spin from Germany. My friend Sabina from Germany has her very own Da Vinci set with like her name on it, and she gifted it to me when I was in Italy. So thank you, Sabina, if you're watching. I love my Sabina brushes. Fun fact about palettes, like I haven't cleaned this yet and it's driving me crazy, but what I like to do is get a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser or the Magic Eraser sheets, and I will scrub this with the Magic Eraser because it kind of like helps it to not like bead up, because that annoys me. I don't know about you guys. So just clean it really good. You could use dishwashing detergent, like dishwasher detergent. You can use baking soda, toothpaste. It all helps to kind of like get that layer of greasiness off, I guess. Just be careful because you don't want to go too far and remove the enamel. So the spring set, I'm just going to put like a tiny swatch. So I'm just, because we already have these swatched out right here, I'm not going to swatch them big, but I really want to show you the mixes you can get. So let's go ahead and do this. I hope this doesn't take forever. I'm sorry if it takes forever, but oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Look what's happening. I love that. Cobalt teal is a little bit more of a pushy color, so it's pushing the opera pink pigments out of the way, and you can see the purple that's starting to um, form, so that's really fun. Okay, I want to show you my mixing style. So what I like to do is I'll start with one color and slowly move towards another color. So I'm going to start with yellow and I'll slowly add a little opera pink. It's tricky sometimes. Okay, here we go. So look at that. It's almost like a new Gamboge type color, and you just slowly start adding more. It's one of my favorite ways to mix. Because you can mix a color and just mix it straight and like go halfway, but you're missing out on like all the little in between shades you can get as we head towards opera pink. And I'm going to go ahead and go faster. Isn't that cool? Look at that. All right, and then I want to mix the blue with the opera. And so what I'm going to do is, oh yeah, look at that. Look at the purple. I'm probably going too fast towards blue, but it's all right. And then as it gets more blue, you get like this, like, well, I'll just show you. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a dusty turquoise. So pretty. This is tricky. My phone is like in the way, and so I'm trying to do this without, oh boy. Oh boy. There. Like so. Oh gosh. I usually swatch so much bigger than this. So Forgive me. This is odd. All right, so we've got blue, and then we're gonna add our yellow. I can zoom out slightly. I think it's important to see the mixing process. That's one thing I show my students when I'm teaching is I always show them my mixing palette. It's really important to see that side of things and not just the paint going on the paper, but how are they picking up the paint from the pan? How are they um, mixing? This paint is still pretty wet in the pans. It usually takes like 48 hours or more, depending. Like if you pour your pans in layers and like slowly let it dry before you add more, it's usually better. Okay, so we'll start at blue and we're just gonna slowly add yellow. So here's that. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. These greens are, I mean, unrealistic, obviously. Add a little bit of the pink if you want the greens to tone down a little bit. Anytime you have a green that's too bright, you can actually add red or pink and you'll start to go a little more olive. Now I've got to get some clean yellow. Hang tight, hang tight. And I really love as it starts to turn into more of like this beautiful lime green. I love that. There you go. So that's just a fun way to mix a triad and kind of see the range that you can get. All right, the next one is summer. And these are, for those of you just joining, these are Daniel Smith's new, there's 8 sets. They are 5 ml Triads. So there's 3 5 ml tubes in each box. You can screenshot that and scan it to go to Daniel Smith's website. And I also have it in the chat. Pam asked, what happens if you mix all 3 colors? I love that question. Let's just, really quick, let me grab a scratch paper because I have all 3 colors right here. Let's do it. Let me grab a brush. Yeah, it'll be gray, but it's pretty. Sometimes I like to show you, like, it's gonna be muted. So there's a muted, almost like a potter's pink, huh? And obviously mixing all 3, like if you've got primary colors, it will turn neutral, it'll turn gray, or as people call it, mud. This one is like a really fun, let's just see what we can do. I like making gray because if you've ever painted like a white animal, there's not just gray. Gray is not just gray. You're gonna get, like, look at these. These all kind of look muddy, kind of brown, kind of gray. Shadows are usually gray, but they have a temperature to them. So is it a warm gray? Is it a cool gray? Is it leaning more green? So, I mean, look, you can get muted colors even out of this. So that's fun. I have so many pieces of scrap paper, so we'll just play. But see how that's leaning more like greenish blue? But if you add a little more of the yellowy orange, and it'll be granulating because this is such a granulating set. The opera pink and the cobalt teal blue both granulate. So as this dries, it will separate and you'll get kind of like different colors. So even though it's going to be gray, it's going to have, see how that separated already? That's why it's magical. It's just magical. All right, so here's the colors we're going to do next. We are starting with Quin Rose, Ultramarine Turquoise, and Naples Yellow. And this one's fun too. So this is summer. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. Juice Cala. Like I said, I just filled these yesterday, like last night. So they are still pretty wet. Endless possibilities. Endless. You're right. Because here's the thing. I'm not limited to just mixing the 3 colors of each set together, but when you have all the sets, you can start playing around with mixing all the different colors, and it just unlocks so many new colors. Like I said before, I have not been, oh, that is dirty. I got some turquoise in my Naples yellow. I've not been a fan of Naples yellow until recently, as I've kind of gotten into portraits, like human portraits, people with skin. I still haven't shown it yet, but I painted Jack Black and it actually turned out. And people know that it's Jack Black when they see it, which I think is a huge win. Let me know if you want to see my Jack Black painting and I'll show it to you. But Naples yellow, great for skin. And if you add, you could even mix some of these, like make a purple and then add that to that, and you can get darker skin tones. You can get so many different options. All right, quinacridone rose is a classic. It's just such a good primary color. All right, Amanda, I will have to grab my Jack Black painting here at the end and show it to you guys. I haven't even posted it on socials yet because I don't know why. And it's hairy Jack Black because I'm scared of skin, all right? I'm scared of human skin because I paint animals. And so found the hairiest person I could find. Okay, let's start with let's make some purple here. I love, whoa, maybe went too dark too fast, but oh well. I love the colors that come out of this. You would not think these two make such a vibrant purple, but they do. It's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it's stunning. And then it starts to head into like this really rich, deep color. Ultramarine turquoise isn't, it's intense. It's almost phthalo intense. It's very close to phthalo turquoise, but slightly different. I do want to show you this. I mentioned this is the spring set. I mentioned that they'll separate and granulate as they dry. So you can just see like the opera pink pigmentation happening there is really pretty. This is I think this is, yeah, this is a rough paper. This is Magnani 1404, which is an Italian made paper. And this is their rough version. And then here's the other swatch I did that was gray. And so even if you make mud with the spring set, the mud is still exciting. So there you have it. I'm going to grab some fresh ultramarine turquoise to mix with our Naples yellow. I'm cleaning my brush a lot. When you're doing this kind of mixing, it's important to clean your brush a lot. Like keep things clean if you want to make clean mixes. Okay, so Naples yellow has a white pigment in it. So it's going to slowly make this kind of a milky blue. See how it's got like that opaque, milky quality to it. Oh yeah, and it's getting more green because the Naples yellow is warm. Look at that. That's pretty. Now, you guys don't have to run out and buy these sets. If you would rather, like if you already have a bunch of 15 ml tubes, see what you're missing. Go buy the 15 ml tubes. I mean, it's a good investment. I think these sets are designed for people who are kind of new to Daniel Smith, or maybe they're on a budget and they just want to try them. But yeah, if you've already got a collection, just see what you need. Try putting these colors together and see what happens. All right, cool. So I love, love, love that mixture. And now we're gonna mix the quinacridone rose with the Naples. So I'm gonna grab my other palette here. Hey, honey. Oh, my husband's bringing me chicken. He's the freaking best. Show the chicken. Show the chicken. Look what he brought me. Put it under here so they can see what you brought me. Isn't he sweet? Oh my gosh. Doesn't that look good? Thank you. He's the flipping best. All right, check it. So if you want to take and make like some skin tones, this is your color because look, I went too pink too fast. I'm aware of that. But oh, and this makes like a really pretty like coral pink. If you've seen the new Daniel Smith Coral Reef, you can get kind of that color with this mix. Because that is a white pigment mixed with an orange color. You can make it yourself, but it's more fun to have it convenient in my opinion. I love mixing, don't get me wrong, but I also like convenience colors. Who's with me? I think it's important to know how to mix and not just rely on convenience colors. But some people aren't comfortable starting that way and they want to start with convenience colors. I did. But I really love mixing. I love challenging myself, especially like with these sets, like starting with 2 or 3 colors and then seeing what I can make. That's really fun. Okay, I'm just going to mix these 3 colors together. I'll add back the pink and we'll see what we get. Look at that. That's beautiful. Whoa, so much water. And then I'm going to grab some Naples yellow without contaminating it. Oh my gosh. Sorry, one sec. I had a hair come loose. Okay, I'm going to add some of that milky Naples yellow. Are you guys still with me? I don't even know. I'm just happy. I'm just in my own world. I could be totally talking to myself. I wouldn't even know. Okay, so we're going to make some mud on purpose. But it's pretty. I mean, you could even like drop some color in. I'm going to set that aside and we'll see what happens as it dries. All right, our next set is my favorite set. It is the autumn. And spooky season is upon us soon. I usually don't want to think about it until like mid-September. But it's been cooling off here where I live. I can see apples on the apple tree out the window. And so yeah, I'm starting to get in the mood for this. But it's like right here, just as they are, it's like Halloween. But as you mix them, and here's my little palette I was using, my little pumpkin. As you mix them, you start to get into like browns and golden. I mean, just you'll see. Okay. See how they're like already playing together? Because I have way too much water. Let me grab them fresh first and swatch them just so you can see the colors by themselves. So it is, where'd my box go? I'll just set it here for you guys. I'll start with Rose of Ultramarine. It's one of my favorite Daniel Smith colors. Like I said before, if you weren't here, it's ultramarine blue and quinacridone red mixed together. I mean, undersea green, rose of ultramarine, and Aussie red gold. I don't even know how you could possibly go wrong with those colors. So here is undersea green. And I just painted an owl for a video I'm releasing next Saturday with Aussie red gold, mixing it with shadow violet. And it turned out amazing. If you've never mixed Aussie Red Gold and Shadow Violet, you can make the most beautiful browns. So you gotta try that. Glowing browns, mind you. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of my Rose of Ultramarine and we're gonna mix it with the green. So for those of you just joining, I'm slowly adding in other colors to get to another color, just to kind of see the range you can get. So here we're adding undersea green slowly, and it makes these beautiful browns.
I usually don't swatch with this small of a brush, so bear with me. This is like so tedious. I like big brushes and like lots of space usually because you can really see the nuances and you can see the paint flow. But there's 8 sets and so much time in a day, so many time in a day, and I don't want to keep you guys all day. I mean, maybe some of you are like folding laundry or whatever and listening. I do that, by the way. I will listen to YouTube videos while I like clean the house, paint. And so when people have YouTube videos where they don't talk, I can't do it. All right. I kind of want to show you like let's get a little more of this. I just want to show you the kind of range you can get. Let's get a bigger brush too. If your watercolors are like feeling stiff and they don't feel flowy, get a bigger brush, add a little more water. See, see what happens. But I just want to show you. Look at this. It's it's brown, but it kind of leans like violet. And then if you add more green, which you couldn't really see, you get like an olive. So undersea green is already kind of an olive green. But if you add a little rose of ultramarine, it starts turning, it turns to like this. I love green and I love earthy greens. So that's kind of what I'm talking about having a little more space and a bigger brush. You just get all those like nuances. I'm gonna set that aside. And here's our summer mix we made. That turned out really pretty. Some of it's still wet because I use a lot of water sometimes, guys. I like the cauliflowers and the blossoms and the I don't know hard edges, and I love it. Love it. Oh my gosh, best. I mean, if you wanted to paint like a zombie or something, there's your zombie colors. Speaking of Halloween. Okay. All right. Let's mix the undersea green and the Aussie red gold and see what happens. I am not using my pumpkin as much, my little pumpkin guy, because it's getting a little messy. But I'll use the paint from it. How's that? Sketches and Scrubs was here a little bit ago. She made her celebrity appearance. She's the best. I like totally accidentally met her in Italy this year, and in like 30 seconds we became best friends. So we've been trying to plan a YouTube collab, but we're like in crazy different time zones, uh, and I'm gonna mix a little of the purple mix in. Rosa Ultra. Because somebody was saying it'd be fun to mix all of them together. All three colors. So, man, that brush is shedding. Probably just need to get all the shedding hairs off of it. I don't even like to leave a swatch like this. I like to take some water and like splatter it and do a little something like that. So, yeah, Sketches is the best. I saw her painting and I went up to her and was like, hey, I know you. And I did not think she would know who I was because my channel's still pretty small, which is fine. But she did know who I was, and we like spent the next 2 days together. Okay, the only ones we haven't mixed are Rose of Ultramarine and Aussie Red Gold, so let's do that. Like less yakking, more painting, actually. Come on. Yes, Pam. They do make good bookmarks, and I can't even tell you the bookmark collection I have because I'm constantly swatching on these, so I guess everybody's getting bookmarks from me for Christmas this year. I like to include them, like if somebody orders my dot card, or if I'm selling something, which I'm not right now. Um, I'm out of dot cards at the moment, but I will be getting more hopefully soon. Um, yeah, collage would be fun. Okay, we're starting with orange, so we're just barely gonna add a little bit of rose of ultramarine. This makes a really nice rich brown. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's pretty. I need to eat that chicken my hubsy brought. I have the best, most supportive husband. Like, he's amazing. He's like my biggest cheerleader. He's always like encouraging me if I feel like discouraged, or he's just, and he's always worked. Like, I had a photography business until my kids were, gosh, it was 2015, and I had two boys that needed to be homeschooled. So I quit photography in the end of 2016 and just homeschooled, and that was really hard. The boys are grown. We survived. They turned out to be decent people, which is good. They're still looking for jobs. But we just have our 14-year-old daughter who we are homeschooling right now, but she's doing online school. It's a little bit easier. She has cerebral palsy, so homeschool is the best way for her right now. But anyway, my husband's staying home with her. He retired from construction, unfortunately, because of his back going out. And so now I'm supporting the family, and it's actually really fulfilling. I just turned 40, and I feel like my life's just starting, so it's pretty exciting. By the way, we got kitties, and this one is being a little stinker. Aren't you being a stinker? This is Stella. Stella is 4 months old, and her sister Cheeto's running around here somewhere. And they keep trying to drink the paint water, which I don't know if I like that. I keep having to cover it, but it's worth it because they're so cute. They're so cute. This is winter. Lunar black looks like dirty snow in Idaho in February. Idaho's where I live. French ultramarine and Cascade green. This is my all-time favorite Daniel Smith color. It's the best. I love it. I'm excited to mix these for you guys. Oh, here's our swatch from autumn. It's really, really fun to see how the colors separate and move and granulate. You can see the ultramarine blue here from the rose of ultramarine. It settles. It's a heavier pigment, so it settles sooner, where the quinacridone red does not granulate. And so the red floats to the top while the blue settles into the cracks. And this is a rough paper. Now, all right, let's do this. First I'll make a little swatch of them. And Lunar Black is heavily granulating. It has these massive, chunky pigments. And what's crazy is you'll put it down and think it's super dark and thick and opaque, and then all of a sudden it'll separate. And you're like, what? Hi, Stella. That's yucky paint water. Yucky paint water. And then we've got French ultramarine, which is slightly warmer than ultramarine. Ultramarine, so I believe French ultramarine, the pigments are bigger. Pigment particles are just larger, which makes it appear warmer. I could be wrong. Get out of my paint water. I She's so cute. She's so cute. I have other videos though about the 6 new Daniel Smith colors that came out this year. Go check it out, and you can see Cobalt Green Deep, and I mixed it with all the other colors. So Barb, I am using this paper this is the Magnani 1404 Italia. It's a cold press paper. But this is the Magnani 1404 Toscana, I want to say. Yeah, Toscana. It's a rough paper, and it's beautiful. I love it.
The Magnani is a brand. It's made in Fabriano at the Fabriano factory, so it's similar to the Fabriano Artistico. I just really enjoy it. I made sketchbooks out of it this past spring and sold them. Unfortunately, that is over, and I don't know if I'll do it again. It was it was a labor of love. My cat clawed my neck. Like she got me. Like right there. Gosh. Kittens. All right, let's mix. We've got our lunar black, and we're gonna mix it with French ultramarine. And this is so fun. Watercolor is it's just the most magical thing, honestly. Oh, that was so much paint. These pens are still slightly wet, so. Oh yeah, sketches. She got one of my books. I had like one left when I was in Italy, and she got it. So I don't know if she's using it yet because everybody keeps saying that they're saving it. I'm like, come on, just use it. You'll have to let me know how you like it. If you're using it, do you like it? If you've bought one, let me know. I want to hear how they turned out. I was like, it was scary. What if like people don't like it or like it's not good enough or you know how you second guess yourself. They're good enough for me, but sometimes what's good enough for me, for some reason, I feel like might not be good enough for other people. Do you guys do that? She says, not yet. Yeah, let me know when you use it. I want to hear how you like it. I've gone through like 4 of them myself. So the winter set and the Stormbreaker set, I feel like are similar in the sense that they're very blue and they have a lot of like moody, moody cool tones. All right, let's mix the blue with my precious Cascade green. I was just watching Becky Trieger art last night, yesterday, and she didn't go buy these sets. She just looked through her tubes and found like the tubes she was missing of the 15 ml, and she just went out and bought the ones she was missing. So that's an option too. You don't necessarily, if you're already getting a collection of Daniel Smith, go buy the 15 ml tubes and try the trios, or just go through and see what you have and make it work. I know the retailers are starting to come out with these. They did launch the beginning of August. Daniel Smith does not do retail themselves. They use distribution. So it's up to retailers to order these. So if you've got a store, a local store that you're wanting them to order Daniel Smith, you got to bug them about it. So I actually had gone too green too fast here. So I was kind of backing up a little bit and like slow down. We'll get there. I just want to show, I really like the way that these look. Okay, first I'm going to do the lunar and the French ultramarine. It's so moody and delicious. And then this is the Cascade and the French ultramarine. And then, if you want them to meet in the middle, there you go. So I'm going to set that aside and see what it does. Here's that autumn mix I did. Blick, I checked Blick like a week ago and I didn't see him yet, but Gail, it's your job to check Blick for us. Okay, I know the Merri Artist has them. They've already ran out of stock once or twice. So yeah, they're flying off the shelves. So get them if you want them. I mean, it's just a great way to try out new colors without having to invest in massive tubes. Unless you want to. Unless you want to. All right, Cascade Green and Lunar Black. Lunar Black. If my other cat pops in here, I will let you meet her. Her name's Cheeto. She was named by the granddaughter of the lady we adopted the cats from. Massachusetts. Hi, Tracy. How many full sheets of watercolor paper in each of your handmade sketchbooks? 3. So it depends on the size, but this size, which is like A5-ish, it takes 3 full sheets. And it's 44 pages, but it's 22 like spreads. Does that make sense? Gail, you bug Blick. You tell them Ashley sent you and that they need to get on the ball. Okay, here we go. We're gonna mix Cascade Green and Lunar Black. So I have a Blick that's about 2 hours away from me, and when I first became a brand ambassador, I went there and I brought my dot cards and I like went up to the front and I was like, hey, I'm a brand ambassador for Daniel Smith. They like looked at me like I had 3 heads. They were like, okay, what do you want us to do about it? Like, I gave them my dot cards and said that they are welcome to hand them out with like a certain amount of purchases of Daniel Smith. I was just trying to be like, make connections and, you know, make connections. I even offered to teach classes there, but they've never called me, so they're lost. All right, I gotta mix that on a swatchy swatch that's bigger so you can see. Blick. Yeah, so here in the US, Blick is pretty big. Most states have at least one, uh, if not more. So I live on the border of Utah and Idaho, so I'm in southeast Idaho, and my closest Blick is in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is 2.5 hours away. So when we go down there for my daughter's children's hospital appointments, I always stop at Blick. It makes it fun. And she's kind of starting to get into art. She's 14. She likes alcohol markers. Uh, and right now she just discovered colored pencils. So we've got the Prismacolors. Uh, Still not interested in watercolor. She says it's really hard. We'll get there. But I have to just try not to get too excited. That was way too much water. I know somebody's going to say it. I'll say it first. But I can't wait to show you how this looks as it dries. Now, I never leave a swatch alone. Not never, but okay, did you see what happened to the lunar when I did that? Okay, we made it through the seasons. Oh my gosh, we did it. We did it. All right, one last time I'm going to show you the winter swatches. And they're so cool. So lunar black, just those big old granulating black pigments. This is like blue jeans. And then you can see it starts to head into the green over here. It's really pretty. And then this is almost completely dry. Oh, this is so pretty. Remember, this was our autumn mixtures. Cool. We finished the seasons. We were halfway. It's the longest live stream of my entire life. It's fine. It's Saturday. We're chillaxing together. I kind of dig it when this happens. As our friend Bob says, happy accidents. But I just thought we'd take a second. That's kind of weird. Look at that. But look at this like rich brown here. This is why I like this way of mixing, because you get to see all the variations of what's possible by just mixing 2 colors together. And you'd miss that if you just mixed them together and then did one swatch. You're gonna miss all the nuances. Yeah, I had a student, shout out to my student who lives in Alaska. You know who you are. But she had a frustration that like she could order stuff. First off, it would be really expensive to ship to Alaska, and second, um, it would take forever to get there. So that was frustrating. But hey, I think that would keep me from buying so many art supplies. Because the easier accessible it is, the more crap I buy. So now we're on to the other 4 sets. So we got through our seasons, and now we're going to do, we've got Stormbreaker, Architectural, Evening Glow, and Desert Horizons. This one's my favorite of the
non-seasons set. These ones don't really have like a name. They're just kind of, they are what they are. So this got stained from the Avi red gold. So a magic eraser will take that off later. Okay. We'll just go ahead and even though it's kind of out of order, I'll just turn this around so that Stormbreaker's first. We got Stormbreaker, Architectural, Evening Glow, and Desert. So we'll start there. So Stormbreaker, and I haven't been showing you guys my little swatches here. Stormbreaker is fun because it has iridescent electric blue, like I mentioned before. This comes in stick, this comes in gouache, and it comes in watercolor small and big tubes. So it comes in all the different ways that Daniel Smith offers. We've got Prussian blue and Bloodstone. Bloodstone Genuine is like Lunar Black's hot sister. Like, hi Karen. How's your recovery been? Karen is a student, a previous student. We've hung out on Zoom before. And she's the best. All right. I love my students. I just love them. All right, here's our iridescent electric blue. And the cool thing is, even though, like, yes, it has those iridescent, like, reflective mica in there, the color itself is stunning. Okay, we're going to mix these three colors together, and I love, love, love this one. This one's so fun. So first we'll do the Bloodstone Genuine, which is like a deep, dark plum, like a brownish plum color. Oh gosh. Like it's so pretty, but it granulates just like Lunar Black. And anything you mix it with, you're going to get that gorgeous, gorgeous granulations. I'll tell you what, my 20s and 30s were just, I felt like I was 80. And now that I'm 40, I've had my kidney transplanted. I've like gotten healthy. And I feel like my life's just barely beginning. And my boys are grown. I just have my 14-year-old daughter left, kind of like my boys are still living here at home, but they're old enough that they're kind of doing their own thing. So I just and my career is really taking off and it's just I feel like I'm like my life's just beginning. So yeah, 20s and 30s. I was done having kids by the time I was 25. And then my health issues just oh my gosh. So all right, let's mix. Yeah, this should be fine. So we're mixing Prussian blue. Oh, it's so beautiful. Let me get a bigger swatch for this. We've got to do this. Because this is so pretty. So this is Bloodstone Genuine and Prussian blue. And I haven't really used Prussian blue a lot. And that's what's cool about these sets is like pairing colors together that A, you've either never used or you've just never thought of mixing together. I have a tendency to shy away from like intense colors like indigo and Prussian blue. And so this has forced me to like, I don't know, just explore. Ugh. All right, this is weird paper. I think this is not even cotton. I know what this is. This is the paper that my local printer prints my art on. It's like a art paper, so it's not, it's for printing and making it look like watercolor. So forgive me. I've had some prints made of my art for family members. And it's so nice when family supports me. It just means a lot to me. Sometimes I think they're just being nice, but like my sister bought my boat painting that I did with gouache, and my sister-in-law bought my horse painting as a print. And because she loved it so much, I gifted her the original. So it's like a horse in a barn with black background. You can find it on my website. But it was just sitting collecting dust, and I thought this sister-in-law of mine, she loves it so much. that I gifted it to her because I knew she would like frame it and put it front and center in her home, and I just felt like it was the best place for it. So I added a little of the iridescent here at the end, so we'll see what happens. But this paper is interesting, right? All right, we're gonna set that aside and let it do its thing. Jerry's has the triads. Thank you, Gail. I love Jerry's. That's why I order all my paper. Okay, so this might feel kind of redundant because they're all bluish, but I'm gonna mix Prussian blue and the iridescent electric blue. So basically what it's gonna do is just give it that shimmer that the mica pigments have. So here we go. So this one's not as exciting, but still. I watched the best movie last night and I keep thinking about it. It's called I Feel Pretty and it has Amy Schumer in it. And it's like Shallow Hal, but like opposite, where the girl gets like she suddenly sees herself as beautiful, like supermodel beautiful, and she gets really confident and like changes her life and oh, so good. Even though she's still the same person. And it was really inspiring. I'm not gonna give away like what happens. You gotta go watch it. It was so good and funny. Okay, the final one we're gonna do is iridescent and bloodstone, and this is a fun mix. Yeah, I'm sure you could order that paper online if you wanted, but it's honestly, I would just go somewhere else and get the real Fabriano cotton, like the Artistico. Fabriano does have pulp papers you can buy, but I'm not a fan. I think cotton's the way to go. But we all have different, budgets and things, and so you got to do what you can afford. I mean, when I first got really serious about watercolor, it was like 2015, and I was just buying Canson XL for years. So buying a big giant pad of Canson XL was like this huge luxury to me. And because we were like paycheck to paycheck at the time, we had little kids, a daughter with a disability. Like, I wasn't buying Arches. Are you kidding me? I actually inherited all my first Arches paper, and that's how I realized that it was better. I wouldn't have known either way. All right, so here's Stormbreaker. I'm gonna grab, I don't want to waste this beautiful paint here, so I'm gonna put it on a little swatch. I want to show you this bloodstone and iridescent blue mix, kind of bigger. It's really pretty. I'll add a little water. And it's funny, we don't really have Saunders, like the Saunders stuff here, where the UK has it a little more readily available. So Saunders, Waterford, we have Bockingford, but it's like not that great. So just wherever you live, get what you can get and make it work. Start where you are, use what you have. And as you go, you can invest. I started, with what I had. Luckily, I inherited some good supplies from an artist who passed away, but once I started doing pet portrait commissions, I was able to start investing in better supplies. I think what's fun about it is like slowly collecting, like not just going out and buying all these, but slowly collecting them, like Pokemon. Daniel Smith has 272 colors in 15 ml tubes, and it's fun to just slowly collect them. If you can't afford them, I was buying candy every time I passed the gas station, or some of us, we go out and buy a coffee every day, or there's something we're spending our money on that is just a couple of dollars. And if you were to just for like 2 weeks not do that, you could buy a new tube, a 15 ml tube of Daniel Smith. I mean, I don't know your circumstances, so I probably can't generalize that. But I that's how I was buying my Daniel Smith colors, is just slowly, like I stopped buying candy bars and would take that money and set it aside till I had enough to buy a tube. So, there's ways to make it work. Sell something. I don't know. I mean, some of us are in really difficult positions, and I get it. I've been there. I've been there where I couldn't even fathom. I mean, I didn't have a dollar to my name at times. Um, One time our daughter had surgery. She was only 2, and we were so broke and so struggling. Our car was about to be repossessed by the bank. This was like 2014. And sorry, it's a little personal, but she had this really big surgery. We couldn't even afford the freaking parking garage. $4. It was $4 to park in the parking garage at the hospital, at the children's hospital, and we didn't have it. And so, like I've been there. So, yeah. Sometimes when we still go to the children's hospital all the time, and I just look around at people and I wonder, like, who's silently struggling? Who could just use me putting a $20 bill in their hand like that? And we're still, we're still tight. We're still good with our money, but um, we can afford to get gas and do the things we need to do. And so, anyway, I am rambling, but I'm just to say, like, I realize how blessed I am to have all the Daniel Smith paints. It is an absolute gift. I'm really, really grateful. There's no way I would have been able to buy them all like at once. I know people who buy them. I have students who have all the Daniel Smith paints and they just like went out and bought them all at once. And that's cool. I would love to be able to do that. Cool. All right. Next is the architectural set. Okay, we've got buff titanium, lavender. I love lavender. Lavender and wisteria. I remember the year they came out, and like I said, could not afford Daniel Smith at the time, so it was like coveting them. It was like, ugh, just wanted those colors so bad. All right. Sepia. Do you say sepia or do you say sepia? I've heard it both ways. I'm curious, which way do you say it? Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So we've got buff titanium, which is white. It's a white pigment that just hasn't had all the color removed out of it yet, if that makes sense. It's really interesting. Lavender, and look, they already want to play together. And sepia. Okay, so first we're gonna mix buff titanium and lavender, which they're both opaque. They're not opaque, they're semi-transparent, but they both have a white pigment. So they're gonna be looking kind of hazy. Kind of milky. So Daniel Smith, they don't say semi-opaque ever. They always say transparent, semi-transparent, or opaque. So if I say something's like semi-opaque, you know what I mean. And I think every brand is different how they say it. Like some brands do have, they call it semi-opaque. Let's get one of our little swatchy roos. Now with buff titanium, if you use it too thick like that, it's not pretty. I feel like the buff titanium, you gotta, oh my gosh, this brush is shedding like crazy. Um, you've got to water it down a little bit. Give it some space. Let it breathe. So we'll let that dry. Here's our blue swatch from the last set. See how the bloodstone pigment settled into the grooves of the paper? That's because they are heavier. They are heavier and bigger, chunkier pigments, so they settle. The pigments that weigh more settle, and the ones that weigh less obviously will kind of float in the middle. And so as the paint dries, you get these different like dimensions. So it's really fun. I really enjoy granulation for that reason. Okay, we're gonna mix lavender and sepia. I went too fast. I went too far too soon. But that's the fun of practicing mixing, is trying not to make it too far to the other color too soon. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's nice to have like, I don't know, I love technology. I love the internet. Say what you want. But how cool is it that I can sit in my studio on Saturday afternoon in flipping Idaho and hang out with people from all over the world? It's just amazing. All right. And then we're going to do buff titanium and sepia, sepia. I'm just going to keep saying that both ways. Now this, because here we go, we have got another pigment that is semi-transparent. Um, we're going to get that like milky looking, it's good. Look at that. It's like milk chocolate. Go a little darker there. I feel like I need a little more water to kind of like see it. There. That's so cool. This architectural set's so cool. I actually, our brand ambassadors helped put these together. Our Italian power couple, Giovanni and Letty, chose some of these sets and helped choose the colors. And the architectural set is one of my favorites that they put together. So there's those. I mean, come on, that's so cool. And I'm not a huge fan of like more opaque pigments, but they have their place for sure. All right, guys, we have two left. Two left. The finish line is in sight. Not that there's a finish line or that we're in a hurry or anything. This next set is so fun. Evening Glow. Now this one is bright and not quite a primary triad because we do have yellow, we do have blue, but we don't have red. We have Shadow Violet, which is, oh, I love this color. So we will do those three next. I'm gonna pop that there. Okay, Evening Glow, New Gamboge. Yeah, that is such a bright, fun color. Um, Manganese Blue Hue. I love Manganese Blue Hue. It's always in my travel palette with my sketchbook because it's, oh, they're playing together and she's pushy. Oh, she's pushy. Look at that. Play nice, children. And then it's just a good, like, it's a good clean blue. It's really good for skies. My goodness. That is pushy. All right, let's mix these babies. We're gonna mix the blue and the yellow. Make us some pretty greens. We're gonna add a little blue at a time to this. Oh gosh, I went too far. See, this is why it's fun to practice mixing, so you can try to go slow. Here we go. And because this is such a warm yellow that leans red, the green is not going to be, it's going to be more, it's not going to be vibrant. It's going to be more of like olive green or like a warmer green. Look at that though. It's so pretty. It's quite the contrast compared to these more like toned down colors. Sorry, we better start getting more green in there. See that? This is a fun practice to do. Oops. There you go. Sweet. Let's splash some water on there. If you haven't tried that, you should try it. It's fun. And then it dries kind of like grainy and textural. Is that a word? All right. Now we're gonna do the manganese blue hue is getting bullied pretty bad right now, so it normally looks like this, unless it's getting beat up by New Gamboge and Shadow Violet. Poor guy. Poor guy. He's just getting kicked out of there. So now we'll mix with the Shadow Violet. Gotta get a lot of blue. Got a lot of blue. Okay, I'll switch up. And now I do it while I make art. Oh, look. That yellow. I made the swatches a little big, so this is a good practice. Like, you quickly learn, you know, how big to make your swatches. Oh, gra. Gra is not a word. I accidentally grabbed the sepia instead of they look so similar in the pan, okay? So there's our Shadow Violet. I tried to make Shadow Violet myself before I owned it. I didn't want to spend the money, and so I tried to make it myself. It has 3 pigments. It has an orange, Viridian, and blue. PB29 Ultramarine Blue, PG18 Viridian, PO73 Pyral Orange, I think. Yeah, try it. See if you can do it. So speaking of Shadow Violet, now we're gonna mix it with New Gamboge and get us some. I love mixing purple and yellow. Purple and yellow makes brown. And it's my favorite way to get to brown. Like, zoom us back in. I want you to be able to see the palette too. Yeah, you got to get Shadow Violet. It's a stunning color. So good. I literally use it for shadows in my sketchbook. It literally is like the perfect shadow color. And if you don't want it to be so violet, you can tone it warmer with something yellow. So it's really fun to mix yellow and purple. So we're gonna slowly add yellow and we're gonna get brown. I can already tell you we're gonna get brown. It's kind of like an interesting brown because it leans green. See? Because New Gamboge is so warm, we're cutting into Desert Horizons territory here. Sorry, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Like I said, I've never swatched this tiny before. So little. So adorable. You did not just see me taint my New Gamboge. You saw nothing. Actually, you did see it. Sorry. It's so funny because, like, I don't get a lot of haters because I'm not a big channel. I think if I was... Okay, last one. I really like this one too. Desert Horizons. It's giving cactuses. It's giving desert, tundra. I don't know. Okay. I love, love, love Amazonite Genuine or Amazonite. Amazonite. I love that color. It's so pretty. I use this instead of Viridian. So for me, it's like a trade out. Viridian for me is not my favorite. This one, hands down. So we've got Monte Amiata Natural Sienna, which is really a gorgeous color. And I like to use it in place of like yellow ochre. It has a very like yellow ochre feel to it. But it's just beautiful. So My water is so dirty. I hope the cats don't come try to eat it, drink it, eat it. Amazon. Maybe I should just call it Amazon Green. And being a Primatech, it is like when it's dry, some of the Primatechs just take a little bit more to re-wet. So I'll use like brushes I don't care about if it's in a pan. But be sure to spray first. Just give it a little spray and let it sit for a minute and they should wake up. Um, and then they wake up. But I've heard, like Aloria was saying, she has Daniel Smith paints that no longer activate. I don't know what's going on with that because I have all the Daniel Smith colors in pans for years. No problem. No problem. They re-wet beautifully. Yeah, this set's so pretty. So pretty. This is burnt sienna light. And you can compare that to burnt sienna if you'd like. It is, I don't even know how to explain it. It's more like transparent. It's just, it's not like it's a lighter color per se. It's just like cleaner. I don't even know how to explain it, but burnt sienna has a little more of an opacity to it. And burnt sienna light is just clean, if that makes sense. All right, here we go. So I will do this one first. That's the Monte Amiata. Ozonite. And grab some fresh burnt sienna light. Okay, look at that color. Oh, here it is. It's just really pretty. Instead of using burnt sienna, I use transparent red oxide. I have it on my dot card. I love it. It's got chunky granulation and it's really intense and vibrant and I love it. Okay, we're gonna do Monte Amiata and Viridian first. So here we go. Let's make something interesting here. Oh, didn't get enough. Sorry, I'm overlapping because we're running out of room here, y'all. I hope my head wasn't in the way. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, this burnt sienna light. Okay, now we're going to mix the burnt sienna light and the Amazonite. I have been calling it Amazonite for so many years that saying Amazonite feels really weird. Okay, we're going to make an interesting color here. Sorry for these tiny little itty bitty baby swatches. But, ooh, we're making like an olive green. Let's get us some more green. Some more red. Red, burnt sienna light. Sometimes I call things weird things, and especially on Zoom. Oh my gosh, if we had had YouTube when I was like 10 years old, I would have been in heaven. Because me and my friend would get a cassette recorder and we did a radio show. I wish I still had those tapes. All right, so we're gonna mix the Monte Amiata and the burnt sienna light, which, I mean, we're just making brown and brown really. Like, it's kind of silly, but oh well. We gotta do it. This is our last color. Like, we have come this far. Ooh, I like it. Guys, I like it. When I started my YouTube channel, I swore to myself and the gods above that I would never say guys. Like, hey guys. And I just can't help myself. It just happens. All right, we did it. We have swatched and mixed all 24 colors from all 8 Daniel Smith 5ml Triad sets. They're so cute, by the way. These tiny little boxes are adorable. And here they are. So you gotta let me know what was your favorite. And out of all these swatches, which mix is your favorite? I need to know. I'm really like my eyeball keeps going right here because green is my favorite color. But there's just so many. And then we can kind of look at, so that's this one. The Evening Glow and Manganese Blue hue gave us this. I'm digging that right there. Like this turquoisey color. We've got our architecture swatches. Those are fun. And then this one was from Stormbreaker. That is our Bloodstone Genuine. And let's see if we can see any shimmer. I see a little shimmer right there. You see it? Shimmer, shimmer. And this one has a little shimmer to it too. Just right here. Like you can kind of see it. There it is. Little shimmer. Let's see if we can see it on my sketchbook. I can see it, but it's there. Let me. So it would be like right here. And then this one. Yeah. So pretty. All right. What'd you think? I'm going to clean that off. Should I keep these in this order or should I reorganize them by like chroma, rainbow order? Because this does hurt my heart just a little bit. I will not lie. And we'll see how long I can go keeping them in the order of the sets. But I think that it's good. I am excited to play around with like mixing the different set colors together, see what I can get. It encourages creativity. Hi, I'm standing. Did you guys know I'm 6 feet tall? It's usually quite a shocker. I'm gonna sit down so you can see my face. Thank you everybody for being here. This is really fun. This was the longest live stream so far. So thank you for hanging out. All right, cool. Let me know what your favorite set was. Do you think you'll buy these or do you think you'll go out and buy 15 ml tubes? What are your thoughts on these? And what's your favorite set? So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. And I hope you have an amazing day.